Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Today I'm going to be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Injustice 2 Page Punchers Supergirl, and this figure hasn't even been technically shown off yet. This figure popped up on Figurine for All along with a bunch of other figures, and they're like, some of them are less than retail value and was able to get them and all that stuff. And if you haven't, I would go check that out and if pick up some of this stuff, because every figure that's come out that I've gotten so far, which has only been 3 of this new like wave that's coming out and everything, they're all like oops, all bangers, you know what I mean? And this Supergirl is no exception. This figure is so awesome, and she looks a lot better than the prototype on the box too, because the prototype on the box just looks rough, to be honest with you. But this figure is just, she's perfect in terms of adapting how she looks in the game into a figure. And especially because of the fact that Batman was completely wrong. He was, all gray and stuff, and they didn't really paint him properly. Like here, if I bring this in, I repainted this to actually look how he does in the game, where, this was black and all that, instead of him being all gray for some reason, which I'm very happy with how that turned out. And then Green Arrow being, 9'5" for some reason, because they made that figure's legs really long. But I hope that we get a Superman, because we need an Injustice Superman. I mean, you need one, you know what I mean? I would love to get the top 3 figures from Injustice that I would say that I want after getting this Supergirl: Black Canary, Brainiac, and Bane. Bane would be awesome. I would love to get a Bane. That'd be pretty cool. I'd love just as many Banes as possible. But I really hope they go deeper with this line, because these have been all awesome so far. And like I said, this Supergirl is no exception. So without further ado, let's get into how wonderful this figure is by taking a look at what she comes with. So obviously, this is a Page Puncher, so she comes with the same comic that came with, the other Page Puncher stuff that we've got, like the Green Arrow and the Batman, that this Supergirl and Dr. Fate were supposed to be a part of that wave and just weren't. I don't know why. But she comes with that, obviously, one of the DC little disc stands, 2 fists, as you see right here, and then a pair of these relaxed hands, like relaxed, almost gripping hands, which these are really nice, and they do just peg on like the normal McFarlane stuff. Not hard to do at all. And I love that we get that option. I think that's really cool that we get a pair of relaxed hands as well as fists, instead of having to have her be, one or the other. And now let's take a closer look at the detail on Kara. I think the head sculpt on this might be one of my favorites that McFarlane has done in terms of the female figures, because a lot of the time they look a little off, but they actually got it pretty good. I think her hair might have too much of a wash in it, but I'd rather have too much wash than not enough wash, to be honest with you. And the haircut, it's not bad. I think it's pretty faithful to the, the comic itself, obviously, but then the game, and I think that it just turned out really well. Like, especially if you look right here, you're like, wow, that's perfect from the game, because it just came up in the back and everything. Like, she has that bob. And then the tampo of the Superman logo looks pretty good back here. Her suit is awesome. I love that. I like the way they did the Injustice shield, Death shield. I think that looks really good. They also got a nice sheen to her eyes too, instead of them being matte, which is really good, so they look lifelike. She's got almost a like zipper type area here on the front, but it is just the detail. Different textures throughout the suit, which is really cool. She has different smooth and then textured pieces, which are really cool. I like that all throughout. I like the gold too. I never realized that it was so gold too on her thighs right there. I didn't realize that that was so gold until I got the figure in hand. I don't know how I didn't realize that in the game, but it is what it is. And I actually kind of like it. I like that there's some gold thrown in there instead of it being, because it's usually, a gold belt like Superman has or whatnot. And same thing, for what they changed for Kara in this, they made her have sleeveless. They made her sleeveless, and they gave her gloves, which I think are really cool too. I love all the Injustice designs. I think they're all really good. I feel like there's one that's really bad, and I can't think of who it is. I'm pretty sure there's one that's like really bad. Oh, Aquaman 2 or Aquaman in Injustice 2 is not good. I don't like that look for him. But I think everybody else is not too bad. Oh, and Catwoman's face looks really off. Oh, I'd love to get a Wonder Woman from Injustice 2 as well. That'd be pretty cool. Or the first Injustice, either or. I don't care. Just give us a Wonder Woman, please. Just give us more Wonder Woman, and just give us a normal one. For God's sake, why is this so hard, Todd? But then for her boots, we've got, these are a separate piece, by the way, as well, so they shouldn't like have any paint rub or nothing. But I feel like these boots are inaccurate. I thought she had full boots. I don't know why This is like this. And then something that is really crazy, which we will get to here in a second, because we're going to talk about articulation. Okay, we're going to talk about articulation right now, and we'll get to the ankles. But as for her head, it can go up that far, which is really good, because I haven't modified this figure or anything, so she can actually get into flight poses on her own, which is really good. She can look down a little bit. The hair doesn't even get in the way. It just stops. And then got some nice tilt, rotation. As for her shoulders, they go out that far. Pretty good. They go up and around. They does start to run into this shoulder pad a little bit, but this thankfully is a rubber material, so you can get it out of the way a little bit. Bicep swivel. Her arms go that far across too, which is really good. I love that they can do that. It's awesome. Bicep swivel, as I said, but then double jointed elbows that go up all the way and then some. Standard McFarlane hinges at the wrists. As for her torso, using both, can go that far forward, that far back, rotate, you know, twist, all that good stuff. Her legs go out that far. Probably could go a little farther if you wanted to push it. Can go forward and back, about that much. She has not really any movement at the thigh joint in there, but we get double jointed knees that go back that far, which is pretty good, so she can kick her own ass if you just, you know, push it just a little bit more. Bing. And then not standard joints for the feet, actually, which is crazy, because if you come in right here, you'll see there's a peg. If it would focus, if it would focus, she actually has almost like Hasbro type hinges for the ankles, which is pretty cool. I like that we got that. I would love it if they would start doing that with these. Oh, and then of course toe pivot. But I would love it if we started getting those kind of joints for the ankles, because I just think they're better. But now let's move on to some size comparisons. And as for some fellow Injustice members, we have her next to Batman and Green Arrow, which I did modify both of them. Just not their heights though. They actually are these heights normally. And Green Arrow is huge for no reason. Batman's head is tiny. And then Kara, I think, is maybe perfect for what she needs to be. I mean, she's like, obviously, if you took the tiniest little bit and put her up just a little higher, that'd be more accurate, since they're both on base stands currently. But it's not bad. I think that this works, especially because Kara, I think, is supposed to be like a young adult, you know, if not like late teens in Injustice. So I don't think it's that bad. I hope that we get more Injustice figures, though, like I was saying at the beginning, because I would love to have... Oh, that's right. We got a Flash and stuff, too. But that's who has a terrible design in the games. Flash. He has a terrible design. And then here she is next to the Sentinel Spider-Man and the 20th anniversary Captain America. And I think this looks really good. I think you could definitely fudge Kara into your Legends if you wanted to. I don't think that would look too bad, to be honest. And then for some other imports, here she is next to the Mafex Hush Superman and then the SH Figuarts 1984 Wonder Woman. And I think this looks pretty good too. You could probably, if you have the Figuarts Injustice 1 stuff, you might be able to fudge her in. I would definitely put her in like a flight pose or something. But you know, of course, trick of the camera stuff. You can definitely get her to be in a display with some other characters. You did something like that. There you go. And she'll obviously, of course, work with the Storm Collectibles stuff. I don't have any of those, unfortunately, but she will absolutely work with the Storm Collectibles Bane and Doomsday and was there another one? Was it just Bane and... Oh, and Lobo. Lobo was also... Oh, yeah, I'd love to see someone do that. Someone take a picture and tag me in it of this Supergirl with Lobo, because I'd love to see that. I think that would be pretty cool. But then speaking of Lobo, here she is next to the comic book Lobo from DC Multiverse, which I think this looks really good. Then the Mezco Netflix Daredevil. And I think this looks really good. You definitely could fudge her in with your Mezco stuff, to be honest with you. I think this looks pretty solid. Overall, I really love this figure. I think they absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one. I don't know why she hasn't even been put up for pre-order or anything yet, but I mean, whatever, you know. It's popping up so you can get it places if you want to. And let's real quick switch out these hands while I'm talking here. She has great articulation. She has, you know, a great sculpt. She comes with the things that she needs to come with. It would have been kind of cool if maybe she had like, you know, a laser, like a heat vision head or something. That would have been kind of cool, but you know, we're not used to that kind of stuff with McFarlane. And thankfully her cape's not a terrible, you know, like terribly heavy or anything. And if you wanted to, you could probably switch it out, but it would be difficult to kind of, you might just have to attach it back here, to be honest. But I think it's okay, because it's not too heavy, so it's not going to hold the figure over or anything. Kind of pull her down off the shelf or anything. The only thing that's inaccurate, I feel like, is the wash in the hair. I think it might be too much. But I think the boots, I don't know what it is. Something in my brain is telling me that the boots are wrong. But I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong. It's been a while since I played Injustice 2, and I may play that at some point. And I mean, hey, if you guys want to see it, I might even play it on Twitch if you want. So, But yeah, I love this. I love this Supergirl. I think it's great. I can't wait for Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I don't know who's going to be Supergirl in that movie, but I'm actually pretty excited for the upcoming DCU stuff. So, yeah. I really hope we get a Brainiac, because Brainiac would be a great figure from Injustice 2. I love that design for the character. And I feel like that Brainiac would fit in well with the comic book stuff, because I think this figure also fits well in with the comic book stuff. Obviously, she doesn't look like a comic book version of Kara, but I think she looks good. And, you know, hey, the line's called DC Multiverse for a reason. So put them all together. You know, you do you. It's your shelf. So, yeah. That's going to do it for me, and I will catch you all in the next one. See ya.